Welcome back, students, to another episode of the Tutors Hub. So we are going to look in this about the geometry. Our topic is geometry, and the first we are going to look about lines. So let us understand what is a line. For that, you have to know the basic Cartesian coordinate system, which consists of the four coordinates. So this line is the x-axis. I am naming it as x dash, and this vertical line which you see here is the y-axis. I am naming it as y dash. Is that clear? For studying about these lines, we need to understand the Cartesian coordinate system. So I am marking the origin as O, and now I am going to draw a line. This red line is our line which is under our observation, and we are going to write some features with respect to this line. So this x-axis, you can see that the line is inclined with an angle theta with the positive direction of x-axis. With respect to the x-axis, this line is inclined at an angle theta. The line is represented by the letter L. Okay, is that clear? I have drawn a line which is inclined at an angle theta with respect to the positive direction of x-axis. Okay, now see this green dots, I am going to represent it as, by considering it as a triangle, I am going to represent it. Okay, so I am giving tan theta equal to, so we have to name this triangle. One side is L, that is okay, that is the length of the line. Then this other side K, and the remaining side I am naming it as X. Okay, we are calling that line with the x-axis as X. Okay, so tan theta equal to opposite side by adjacent side equal to K by X. This is a very important formula we have to by heart, because this tan theta is called the slope of the line. This tan theta is called as the slope of the given line. Okay, the given line L has the slope K by X. So the slope, in most cases we refer it with the English alphabet M. M is equal to tan theta. Okay, this M equal to tan theta, in most cases we are referring. Now coming to lines, there are usually two sets of lines which we need to study, that is horizontal lines and vertical lines. Coming to the horizontal lines, before studying about it, I have to draw a Cartesian coordinate system. I have already did that, and the red line is the line which is under our observation. Okay, so you can see that this red line is parallel to the x-axis. So in general, a line which is parallel to the x-axis is called the horizontal line. I am naming it as AB. So AB is the horizontal line, that is the line which is parallel to the x-axis or perpendicular to the y-axis. Now coming to the case of the vertical lines, we are again considering the Cartesian coordinate system OX and OY. Okay, so this line, you can see the red line which is our line under observation. So this line, you can see that on close observation is parallel to the y-axis and perpendicular to the x-axis. Is that clear? This line is perpendicular to the x-axis and parallel to the y-axis. So this line is called as a vertical line. So in general, a line which is parallel to the x-axis is a horizontal line, and a line parallel to the y-axis is a vertical line. That is the only concept we have to learn about this horizontal lines and vertical lines, but we have to study that concept very clear. Okay, because in almost all graphical problems we need to apply that. And in this lines we have to by heart some topics. That's the points I am writing here. Slope of vertical line is not defined, and slope of horizontal line is 0, which is very clear. That is, we all know that slope of a vertical line means, consider a vertical line, it has an infinite slope, because if we are placing any object by the top of it, it will slide down very easily, and a horizontal line has no slope. That's the main concept behind this. There is nothing much more to explain about it. Okay, so I am drawing this slope of vertical line. It is not defined. You can see that if I place an object, a rolling object, it will usually fall with an infinite idea. Okay, so that's how the slope of a vertical line is defined. Actually, it is a mistake. M is not 0. M equal to infinity because it has an infinite slope. It's an accident. Okay, it's now clear. M equal to infinite in case of a vertical line. So coming to the case of a horizontal line, if I place any object, it won't slide down because for sliding slope is required. That is, the slope in the case of horizontal line is 0. That is M equal to 0. So now coming to other topic, you can see about our line which is less than 90 degree. So this less than 90 degree lines are called as the lines with acute angle. Okay, or in case, I hope you understand, a line which is less than the angle 90 degrees is always called as an acute line, and this theta, if it is called obtuse if and only if the value of theta must lie in between 90 degree and 180 degree. Okay, that is how we solve the problems in geometry. Between 90 degree and 180 degree, it's obtuse. So writing here, thinking about only one thing, that is, in these two cases, the tan theta will be always negative. That's a very important thing you have to consider. In these two cases, that is, an acute line or an obtuse line, the value of tan theta will be always negative. That is one of the main thing you have to consider here. So now I have drawn a line L1, explaining a new concept, line L2. So you can see that these lines L1 and L2 are parallel lines. Okay, parallel lines. It do not meet or intersect at any point if you consider it as extending to an infinite point. So in this case, the value of our slope M will be same. That is M1 equal to M2. That the slope of one line will be equal to the slopes of other line. That is, slopes are equal. You have to study this concept because these all are the very basic and important concepts. In competitive examinations, they do not generally ask bigger rocket science problems. They need to clear your basics. If you know the basics, you can purely score marks. So these are the basic things we are explaining, and you have to know this as I am explaining it. Okay. So again, considering a line, x-axis, y-axis, our line is O dash. So a line, if it needs to pass through the origin, if and only if the condition is if its x and y intercepts are equal to 0. Is that clear? A line, if it needs to be passed through origin, if it's to be passed to the origin, then its x and y intercepts must be equal to 0. And so that's the only condition for a line to intercept. Now coming to another topic we are going to study is, you can see these two lines which are perpendicular to each other. So these lines which are perpendicular to each other has a property with their slopes. Let the slope of the line be M1. I am naming the lines now L1 and the other L2. Okay. So the product of the slope of these two lines will be equal to -1 if the line is perpendicular to each other. Okay. This is one of the most important property of a line. So we have to know the relation of that slope when the lines are perpendicular. Now we are going to look into the general equation of a line. So the general equation of a line is very useful in cases because we can identify so many properties of a line from the given general equation. The slopes, whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, non-intersecting, collinear, and almost all the properties can be easily identified and can be known from a simple equation. The general equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0, where a and b are the coefficients of x and y and c is a constant. Okay, so now we are going to find out the slope of the line from the given equation. That is, slope is equal to minus a by b, that is the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y with a negative sign will give the slope of the given line. This we have to by heart, because this can be we can find out the slope of a given line from this method very easily. So now what we are going to look into, if two lines, what's one of the condition, if two lines are parallel to each other, then how will be the general equation of the line will be given. That is, we are going to look, let L1 be the first line, then a1x plus b1y plus c equal to 0, L2 equal to a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. These are the two general equations of two lines. Is that clear? So the x coefficient, y coefficient and the constant of the given line I have already marked. And the thing is that the proportion, that is a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2. These coefficients and constants will always be in a proportion. That is the only property we have to look into. So now we are going to look into one of the other property of a line. That is, you can see more than 3 lines are passing through a common point. I am marking that point, okay, with the red ink I have marked. This point where more than 3 lines pass through a particular point, let it be P, okay, let it be the point P. So this point P is known as the point of concurrency, okay, which is one of the most important topic related with the lines. When more than 3 lines pass through a point, the common point, then the point is called as the point of concurrency. This question may be asked in just as a simple statement they may ask in several examinations. So we are leaving that topic, and now let us look into the topic we have skipped from the previous portion. That is, if two lines are perpendicular, we haven't said that condition earlier, a1 b1 plus a2 b2 will be equal to 0. We have already said that the a1 and b1 and a2 and b2 are the coefficients of the respective lines, coefficient values of x and y of the respective lines, okay. So now that is all about the properties of line. You have to by heart all these things I have already told here. So now I am writing x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, x3 y3 1. So a line is said to be concurrent, then the determinant of the coefficients and this determinant matrix will be equal to 0. That is x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, x3 y3 1 equal to 0. I am not dealing much about with how we are solving the determinant and all, because I hope that everyone knows about the solving the determinant and all. So I am not considering it as much as, okay. So the only condition you have to know is the determinant value will be equal to 0. Now coming to this previous thing, we have already told that if lines are perpendicular, a1 b1 plus a2 b2 equal to 0. So that is we have missed with the previous portion, that is we have explained it. So now you can see that there is a triangle. I am naming it as triangle ABC, and this triangle ABC, from a portion B, a median cuts the line AC. From point A, the median cuts the line BC. Okay, like that the medians pass through. Now you can see a common point. I am naming it all the lines as D, E and F. Okay. So now this common point where all the medians meet is called as, let it be represented by the letter M. Okay. So this letter M is the centroid of the triangle. So the common point where all the medians meet is called as the centroid of a triangle. That is all about today, friends. We will be looking about other topics on the next class. Thank you.